Angelica said, and Dana ran into you, and you exchanged numbers, whatever, and she think you're still with a guy. So when I called, Andrea was like, "Girl, are you guys still together?" And I was like, and when she said yes, so
That was it.
yes, that was it. So tell us tell us first of all how you first came to our parties.
Well, I first got to know about the parties is through Instagram. So I was just scrolling through, and I was like, look at all these black people. Everybody's dancing and have a good time.
Right.
So I said, you know what? I'm going to go. But I'm from Harlem.
Yay!
You know, I'm originally from Queens, but I've lived in Harlem for over 25 years, and we don't usually go over the bridge.
Right.
But I said,
So we've heard.
I'm gonna go over the bridge.
Okay.
So it was your pastels party, and I got dressed, and I brought a girlfriend with me, and I drove over there, and we danced and danced and sweat our hair out.
Yes.
And danced some more, and I was like, this is amazing.
Right.
And it got crowded. It gets crowded.
It does.
And there was a little, bumping in, and I realized everyone was like, sorry.
Yes.
Everyone was so kind and so nice.
It's a really
and I
good
just felt
safe
like I
space.
haven't been out in decades where I was in an environment where we were just all happy and good and wanted to just enjoy each other. So
I love that.
I came back for the second party.
Okay.
And I, was just like, I'm excited about this because I had such a blast. And was, coming into the party, sat down and was talking to Dana and everyone and just having a good time. And my phone rang, and it was my mom. And my mom, was frantic about something that was going on. And I said, I'm going to just step out this party and walk to my car and have this conversation. And as I was walking out of the party, I saw Bud walking towards the party with his friends. But I was on the phone talking to my mom. So
So that's your guy.
Yes. So, he walks over in front of me, and I said, I'm on the phone talking to my mom. He said, okay, let me talk to your mom.
Oh.
So he takes he takes the phone, and he starts having this conversation with my mom. So my mom is asking him all these questions. What's your credit score?
But first of all, tell them where you're from. Where your mom is from.
My mom's from Jamaica.
Let's just start with this.
Well, that
That says it all.
My
right.
mom is from St. Anne's. And so she's asking him these uncomfortable questions.
Out the
And
gate.
my mouth is wide open. Like,
What is happening?
like what's happening?
You're like, he took the phone and talked to your mom. Your mom's talking to him.
Right.
Before you talk to him.
Yes. And he
love
says,
that.
okay, well, listen, I'll promise you two things. I will never harm your daughter, and I promise to always make her laugh. And he said, I'm going to let you get off the phone, and I'm going to walk your daughter to her car, and then I'm going to head on into the party. And he walked me to the car, and he said, could I have your number? I said, I'll take yours.
Okay.
And, it was just, it happened so fast, but I didn't think anything of it, to be honest with you. And then I realized that it was getting late talking to my mom and I needed to head out. I was flying out for work that night. And he called me to see if I got home and if I'm settled, I'm going to head on out to the plane. And the next day he called me and he said, I want to take you out on a date. And I was like, okay, when I get back into town. When I got back into town, he took me to Coney Island on our first date.
That's so
A
sweet.
Brooklyn staple. I love that.
Yes.
Because your boo's from BK.
He's from Brooklyn.
Okay.
I love it.
And
bringing Brooklyn back.
Bringing
What
Brooklyn
other
back
place to bring it back than Coney Island? I love it.
so he took me to Coney Island and he said, have you ever had frog legs? And I said, no. Frog legs? Why would I be eating frog legs? He said, they're amazing. You should taste them. And I sat there and ate the whole thing, and we talked and went on rides and my hair was looking crazy and I was smelling salty from the beach.
Well, you know what that air does to your hair?
Yes.
It was a mess, but we were like two kids. Couldn't stop kissing each other, just kept touching each other. I haven't felt like this since high school.
You felt comfortable.
I
as
felt
the kid.
safe.
You felt
I felt
Safety
safe.
is the most important thing.
I felt
think.
safe. That's the only thing that I could describe it to.
Wow. That's amazing.
You know? So time went on and talking a lot on the phone, doing a lot of dinners.
So that's what I was gonna say, because you live in Harlem.
I live in Harlem.
He lives in Brooklyn.
He lives in Brooklyn.
So how were you guys navigating like the schedule for seeing one another and dating and stuff?
Well, he's a teacher. You know, I run a family office, so my schedule is crazy, and so is his. And he's a coach, right?
Yeah.
And for basketball,
And games,
so and games, and so it was crazy. But
you make time for what you want to
we
make time
said you
for.
make time for what you want to. So we made
Absolutely.
time on the weekends and some Friday nights because during the week it's tough for me. And, you know, one day he said, you know, why don't you come to my house, you know, and come sit in the pool. And I was like, yeah, I don't know about coming to your house.
Always the first time. It's like,
I was like, I don't know about coming to your house. But we waited a few weeks, and then eventually I came over and, you know, we talked, and then I invited him to my house because I wanted him to see how I live.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, and, you know, we spoke about my children and how old they are and all of that. And
how old are your children?
28 and 18.
Okay.
Does he have kids?
He has no children.
Oh, wow.
But we both, you know, been married.
Yes.
Both divorced. And that was a plus for me.
Right.
Because I didn't want to get into a relationship with someone that hasn't been married.
Right.
And they don't know what that commitment
looks
is
It's
like.
yeah.
And what sacrificing is like, and what having empathy. I think when you're in a relationship and you want it to have longevity, you have to be compassionate, empathetic. You have to be honest. And I have a rule: no matter how bad it is, I always want to hear it from you,
Right.
and vice versa.
Absolutely.
Never want to hear it from the family, from the streets. I've just
Oh, the
learned
worst
to-
is the streets.
it's just
Girl.
you don't want to hear it from the
I don't want to
streets.
hear it from anybody that can put their spin on it.
No, no.
I want to hear from you.
From you,
Yeah.
right? And I think we always said honesty, laughter, it will last. And here we are dating, seeing each other. I'm practically now not in my $4,000 apartment.
Amen.
I'm at his house
As it sounds all the time. Yes, yes,
This man
yes.
is 6'5", you know, so he's got this big king bed.
Like a California king.
Yeah,
A Jack king.
so he wants to, you know, be in his, and I get it.
Exactly. He can't be in your bed. He's like,
Yeah.
I'm too big for this
Yeah,
bed.
no, my queen bed was not gonna
That
make
was not
it.
going to make it.
Not
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
make
yeah.
it. But we just started talking about our families and history and therapy and how important therapy
Therapy is very important.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I to me that was like, I love when a man could just speak and say, you know, I had faults and I made some mistakes, and I could do the same,
Absolutely.
because then you know.
Yes.
Absolutely.
You learn each other's
It can't
triggers.
Exactly.
It can't be always the other person.
No,
It's like,
it has to be both.
yeah.
Or it's
Yeah.
always going to be one-sided. Now, listen, sometimes it's 80, sometimes it's 20.
Yeah.
You know, it
course.
fluctuates.
Yeah.
When he's high, I try to be low. When I'm high, he's low. It's rare. We can't be high at the same time because
It's
we
too
have
much.
strong personalities.
Yeah.
He's
What
a
sign are you? I
Sagittarius.
was going to ask you what sign.
I'm a Capricorn.
Oh, my
okay.
God.
Right? So our
Yes.
birthdays is a couple of weeks apart.
Right.
You
And
know?
Sagittarius is very free and very take charge.
What
Yes.
month is that? I don't know.
December.
I don't know.
December.
Signs.
Yeah,
December.
December. And then Capricorns, you guys have a quiet strength.
Yes.
You know, you're powerful.
Yeah.
Leslie's a Capricorn.
Yes.
So,
Who is?
you know, Les.
Oh, okay.
So you guys in detail. I love a Capricorn. I think
Yeah.
that's a nice balance.
I think it's a great balance. But I just love how we communicate.
That's so nice.
We've not had any disagreements until
Oh, wow.
until yesterday.
Yes, right in time to give us some spice.
But listen, you gotta rewind it a little bit back because you're now living.
So we moved in 2 weeks ago. I gave up my place and moved into his place.
Actually, when I called her, I was like, "Are you guys still together?" And she was like, "I've actually moved in this weekend." I was like, "Shut up."
Oh my God.
I was like, "I'm done.
I love that.
I am done."
I love it that it
Yes.
went from, and not in a long
No,
time
it's what,
either.
what was it?
9 months.
9 months. Listen,
That's so
8, 9
listen.
months.
Then you know, I've had a client that married her husband in 3 months,
Yeah.
and they're still together. And they're 70 and she's 65 and he's 70. They've been together.